There is a place in Chilean Patagonia where time is measured in millions of years, and water acts as the most patient of sculptors. Can you imagine visiting a cathedral whose vaults, arches, and columns were carved not by human hands, but by the constant dissolution of nature? This dreamlike setting is known as the Marble Caves. So, where exactly is this masterpiece located? We are in the Aysén region, in the heart of Chilean Patagonia, an area that for many, still represents the last wild frontier of the continent. The caves and chapels rise from the shores of Lake General Carrera, the largest lake in Chile and the second largest in all of South America. To give you an idea, the total area of this lake is over 1,800 square kilometers. That's almost the size of the entire city of Sao Paulo. But the scale doesn't stop at the surface. General Carrera is a glacial giant with a maximum depth reaching almost 600 meters. If we dared to place Christ the Redeemer at its base, it would almost completely disappear. It is this icy and deep immensity that, over millennia, has had all the time in the world to polish and dissolve the marble. To reach this scenery, the traveler must head to the small and charming town of Puerto Rio Tranquilo. The city's name is, ironically, a little joke about Patagonia. This is where you hire the boats that take you to the formations. The thing is, in the middle of one of the windiest lakes in the world, the trip is often anything but tranquil. The Patagonian climate doesn't tolerate amateurs, and we joke that Patagonia gifts you with 4 different seasons in just one day of sailing. Ultimately, the size of the marble caves isn't in the height of their columns, which are relatively modest, but rather in the scale of the process. They are the perfect miniature of an immense geological time. We are sailing through a natural art gallery only 300 meters long, but which represents a history of almost 400 million years. Access to the interior of the caves is a delicate dance with nature. Only when the lake's water level is low, usually in autumn and winter, can the small boats enter the narrow tunnels. During the summer months, when the thaw is at its peak, the water rises and the entrance closes. It is nature that decides whether or not you can witness the cathedral from the inside. It is nature that manages the process, and the entrance ticket is patience. To understand this marvel, we need to go back in time, hundreds of millions of years ago, when the raw material was created. The rocks that now make up the chapels weren't born that way. They began as simple limestone, formed by sedimentary deposits at the bottom of an ancient ocean. Over the ages, this limestone was subjected to monumental underground heat and pressure. This transformation process, called metamorphism, gave rise to what we see today, marble, a harder rock with unique veins and colors. But the real magic began only 10,000 years ago. With the retreat of the gigantic glaciers of Patagonia, Lake General Carrera was formed, filling the valley and exposing the marble cliffs. The lake is fed by glacial meltwater, and its waters are not only cold, they are slightly acidic and carry so-called rock flour, sediments that give the lake its characteristic milky turquoise blue color. From then on, erosion took over. Over millennia, the lake's waves relentlessly battered the marble walls, polishing and wearing away the rock's most vulnerable parts. Slowly, the water dissolved the calcium carbonate, opening tunnels, caves, and arches. Where the original rock was most resistant, the supporting columns remained, giving the formations the appearance of sacred architecture, hence the names Marble Chapel and Marble Cathedral. When the sun shines on the turquoise water, the light is refracted and reflected inside the caves. The white and gray marble comes alive, bathed in an intense blue glow that moves and pulsates with the water's movement. This is the story of a natural sanctuary where water is the artist and time, its tool, a vivid reminder that the most impressive works of art on the planet are always those sculpted by the earth itself. The white water acts as a natural movie screen, and the lake water as a projector. The result? The entire interior of the caves is bathed in an electric blue, which moves and distorts as the lake waves crash against the sides of the boat. It's a fascinating optical phenomenon. The more sun and less wind, the more intense the color. On a perfect day, it feels like you're sailing inside a giant jewel, where every curve reveals a new shade of blue and every reflection makes the rock come alive. The beauty is so extreme that it's easy to forget you're looking at the result of a slow chemical process, where hard rock and acidic water have worked together for ages. It's the finishing touch of a masterpiece millions of years old, brilliantly delivered by the greatest artist of all. light. The marble chapels are not colored by paint, but by a combination of ancient chemistry and a modern trick of light. First, the palette of the rock itself. Marble is made mostly of calcium carbonate, which gives it that pure white tone. But during its millions of years of formation deep in the Earth's crust, the rock absorbed mineral impurities. Where these impurities concentrated, the color changed. That's why you find veins and bands that range from pale yellow to soft pink, and sometimes even dark streaks that look like paint, left by the infiltration of manganese and iron oxides. The result is a marble with stripes, like a giant multi-layered rock cake, a true demonstration that the Earth has an artistic complexity that goes far beyond the simple. But the great secret of the color lies in the water. Lake General Carrera receives water from melting glaciers, water laden with microscopic rock particles as fine as talc. These particles create what we call glacial turquoise. It's an intense, almost unreal color, as if stolen from a dream. The upside of this popularity is that, in 1994, this area was officially recognized and protected by Chile as a nature sanctuary and national monument. This leads us to Iguazu's final lesson. The art that time creates is the most fragile of all. The massive presence of tourists and, more importantly, the climate changes affecting the lake's water level, force us to look at the marble caves not just as a postcard image, but as a treasure that needs respect. When the boats turn off their engines inside the caves, the silence is filled only by the dripping of water. It is the sound of erosion, the sound of time, the sound of a natural church that is slowly being remade every second. Touching the rocks, walking on them, or taking any piece of marble as a souvenir is not allowed. It's the least humanity can do in return for a spectacle millions of years old. The marble caves are not just marble, they are the memory of the Earth. They are proof that patience, in geology and in life, can create the most spectacular beauty. They teach us to be humble before the scale of time and to appreciate the colors that only melting ice, pressure, and a stubborn sun can paint. And so, we close our cycle. From the deafening roar of the cascading water to the gentle whisper of the sculpting lake. Two wonders, two lessons, the strength and subtlety of nature in its most monumental art. The chapel, the cathedral, the cave. Call it what you will, but in the end, this is a single vast sanctuary. And indeed, this beauty could not remain hidden forever. The marble caves have become one of the most sought-after and celebrated destinations on the famous Carretera Austral, Chile's wildest and most scenic road. They have gone from being a local secret to a global icon. Tourism is intense, especially during the Patagonian summer, between December and February. Puerto Rio Tranquilo is a small town, but during peak season, demand is so high that it transforms into a kind of Patagonian Venice. Instead of gondolas, dozens of small boats and kayaks depart all the time, full of people who have traveled the world just to see this blue reflection. It's common for travelers to have to wait for the turbulence of Lake General Carrera to subside before boarding, a constant reminder that here, nature still dictates the rules. And so we come to the end of another adventure. What an incredible place we visited today, wasn't it? I hope you felt the energy and beauty of this destination as much as I did. If you enjoyed traveling with me without leaving home and want to explore many other paradises around the world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free and you'll be sure not to miss any of our upcoming expeditions. In addition to subscribing, leave a like if this video showed you something new and tell me in the comments, what was your favorite part of this trip? Or what place would you like to visit in our next destination? Until the next video.